I'm TK with TLK Custom Homes. I'm a home builder from Texas. We had a business there for a little over 12 years, and we've been vacationing here for years. I say 20 plus years, and we decided to make this our home. And this is going to be our first custom home in the close to Grayton, the Santa Rosa Beach area, Point Washington, over here on Eden Drive. So I'd like to show you guys around and show you what we're working on. So this is going to be set up. We've got a 2-car garage on this side. It's oversized garage, high 12-foot ceilings, plenty of room for a boat, cars. If you're a car enthusiast, we have enough room for a car lift on one side. It's really open to whatever somebody wants to do. Plenty of room for extra storage over there. All the exterior on this home is Batten board, which gives a little cleaner look. You don't have to worry about seeing the seams you would if it was horizontal. Much cleaner lines. We decorated it up with some cedar shingles, nice cedar custom door that'll be stained similar to what we have here already stained. And then over here we've got a 1-car garage, 12-foot ceilings. It's got plenty of room for most of the cars that we drive in this area. And then you got room here at the end if you wanted to close in and have another closed in area for storage. And then when you come through the door here, to your left, you got some storage, a media closet that'll sit underneath the staircase. And as you see, since the guys are in the process of doing all our sheetrock, the home is all foam insulated. It's capsuled. And where we don't have foam, like for example, our laundry room, our bathroom, our front living area, the wall against the master is all batt insulation, which is going to help with the sound dampening. It's a big thing. And then also, here's our entrance, nice and large, flows into the main living room. It's going to have a custom kitchen, high-end appliances. And then right here we have a study for everybody that works at home, or it could be used something else, but we kind of designed it for the study in mind. And instead of just having a power, it's going to be a full bath. So you'll have a shower and everything else. Got a little cabinet to be here for things that you need to store, things of that nature. And here's our living room. We've got the nice built-in 66-inch direct vent fireplace. It does have the grate. It's going to have a custom light feature. It's got the blower, so all your BTUs that are generated by these units, instead of it just going up our vent and going outside the house, they're actually made to direct a lot of that heat back into the room. And then we upgraded it with an adjustable fan. So if it is cold, which we do get cold here in Florida, it can push the heat back into the room. And as you see, the entire first floor has 12-foot ceilings. That's where our cell plate sits. And then you can see here is going to be our kitchen with a nice island here. We're going to have built-in Thermador columns. So your freezer and refrigerator will be right here. And then this will be we got double ovens here. And you'll have your cooktop, all Thermador. And then nice built-in cabinets and vent hood. And then right in here, it's going to be your pantry. And then we'll have nice cabinets that sits here. You'll have another sink. And then a coffee bar is kind of what we envisioned for it. But the nice thing is in these early stages, if someone were to fall in love with this project, you still get a lot of opportunities to make your own touches, whether it be cabinets, flooring systems. Right now, we have planned to do solid white oak custom floors in here throughout the house, except in the bathrooms and things of that nature. Laundry room will be all tile. And then what's planned, here's your laundry room that actually feeds into the 2-car garage. You'll have your washer, dryer, have a built-in place to hang clothes. Here you'll have another sink, some more cabinets, and then to the left here, you're gonna have like a little mud bench for when you come in. You put your belongings there instead of tracking them into the house and setting them on the counter like I typically do to make my wife mad. So it's nice to have these little custom features.
That's awesome.
We arranged the windows. We put an additional window above it just to bring in some more light. Since the ceilings are so tall, it just gives you the ability to have it feel more open. And then right off of the kitchen, we have the master. And so as you see in here, we've got a nice little entrance that gives you plenty of room if you want to go out to the backyard, you want to put some nice seating here. And then the room obviously is a great size. If you fit your king size bed, you've got plenty of room to put oversized end tables. There's a lot of space in here to set it up however you like. And of course all the rooms were already set up for whatever kind of TVs you want to put in. And you got your Wi-Fi connections or your internet cable, and everything that you need, and that way you can keep everything nice and clean. That's a lot of people like to have their masters and stuff of that nature with real clean lines. And it may be hard to see, we don't have a whole lot of light in here, but as you come into the master bath, this wall right here is going to be your double sinks. We're going to have built-ins on each side, and as you can see here, we have a very large shower. And as you come in, it'll have a beach entrance where it just slowly transitions. And then to the left and right, you have your shower heads. And this will be a freestanding tub in the back. And all the walls and the ceiling, this side of the face of the shower coming out will be tiled. They accidentally put sheetrock in these areas. This will be switched out because it is going to also have tile. We want something being that it is close to the shower that's going to be able to withstand any kind of moisture. And the big thing that a lot of people do not recognize is our exhaust fans. In Texas, we don't really focus a lot on the exhaust fans as much as we need to here in Florida. So these are the upgraded Panasonic Whisper with the auto feature. And so what can happen is we put in the baffles for the exhaust for our air ducts. And that seals off for the outside air not mixing with the cold air that's in the house that can generate and create moisture in the ductwork. So the sensor, as soon as it detects that there's moisture, it'll automatically come on, and pull that air out to the outside to prevent any kind of moisture building up in that ductwork, which could potentially build up to a point that it starts to actually come through the exhaust fan down into the area below it. And then it's really dark in here. It's your master closet, which we have plenty of room for lots of shelves, lots of hanging clothes. Again, we did 12-foot ceilings. Gives you an option if you did want to have something high to still have a decorative ladder, stuff that you don't wear all the time. And then underneath, here's the staircase going up to the second floor to the carriage house. And it's another nice little place that you can have extra little storage for whatever you may want to use it for. In a minute we can, unfortunately I locked the door, didn't bring the key with me, but we can walk around the outside in a little bit and I can show you at the back. We have a very large porch area that also has a nice grilling area that'll have a grill or outside stuff when you're wanting to cook outside. And so as you can see, we're just getting ready to finish up with all our sheetrock. We're about to begin our tape and bed. With our custom homes, our sheetrock get more of a cleaner, better result with the hand sanding. Comes into play especially with level 4, level 5 smooth finishes. That's pretty much what everybody does here in Florida. So it's really important that that's done in a way that when you do prime and paint the walls, you're not seeing the imperfections and things of that nature. And this is our main staircase going up to the second floor. So at the top of the stairs, it feeds into a large room that can be utilized as a game room. It could be a second living area. It's got plenty of room. It's already set up for a TV at the end of the wall. I'll go ahead and mention, because this is pretty much our AC systems are housed up here on the second floor. This is going to be an AC closet, and I have 2 additional. We actually did all our returns by duct. A lot of times you will see that HVAC closets actually have an open door with the different fins to allow air to come through for it to cycle back as returned air. This will have a regular interior door, much nicer, cleaner lines. And it has a door that's solid that'll shut, so it's a little bit quieter. And then something else to point out, we actually do 16 SEER dual stage units. You'll find a lot of folks that are using 15 to 14 SEER. 16 SEER, in our experiences, is a very efficient, very good units to have. So as you see, this room here is very large, very oversized. It is already pre-wired. We envisioned this room as a home theater room, but it can also be utilized as a bunk room or a very large bedroom. We do currently have plywood over. This is how we actually access the house to bring all our sheetrock in here. So we're about to close that up and install the window. And so to the left of our stairways, we'll have a little linen closet here. We have 2 identical bedrooms side by side. This bedroom here, views to the backyard, and then this one's actually going to have a bathtub. And so there'll be 2 bedrooms in this house, one in the master and this one here. Everything else is pretty much showers. So the one next is pretty much identical, with the exception that the bathroom is going to have a stand-up shower. And then across over here, we got another bathroom. As you can see, again, here's all our spray foam. And the reason this shower is not sheetrock is because we use a special product in here that allow us to tile it and not have to worry about moisture causing any kind of mold or water damage and things of that nature. And then this is a bonus room that can be used for different things. If someone wanted to use it as a smaller bedroom or another study, a lot of folks are actually working from home nowadays. So it allows 2 people to have an office and give everybody plenty of space. It's also all set up for a TV. We actually set all the bedrooms up for TVs. It's pretty common, everybody likes to be able to watch TV in their rooms. And then this room here, we pretty much see it as a fitness room. We went ahead and put our TV connections here. If you did not want a home fitness room, this would be great for a storage room. You can shut the door here that closes you off from the game room or whatever you choose to do. And there's a closet behind you that can be used for storage. And then there will be a door here that separates the main house to the carriage home. If you got in, or if someone wanted more privacy and didn't want the carriage house to have access to the main house, this can easily be closed off and just make it a solid wall. You would never know this opening was there. But as soon as you come in to the carriage house, we have a laundry room. And then, unlike a lot of the carriage homes that are in the vicinity, this is a very large size carriage house. So this is gonna have your island, you wrap around cabinets, you've got a built-in refrigerator section here, and then this is our, like we talked about, having the TV set up and everything. And then this is going to be the bedroom. Nice size, we have a nice size closet. And then stepping into the bathroom, we're actually going to have 2 vanities, freestanding tub. We're planning on tiling this all the way around, nice look for it, and then your shower, it'll all be tiled in, and all frameless glass for our showers. Now, I don't think we mentioned in the master shower, we do have a nice decorative arch at the top, so we'll have glass doors that match that flow just to make it look really nice and stand out. And then when you leave in the main, actually how we have it set up, the main entry and exit from the carriage house is right over here. So you enter the breezeway, you've got your stairs, so therefore you'll have your own private entrance to the carriage house. And again, all this area and the stairs, we're planning on solid white oak flooring.
TK, why don't you tell us a little bit about you talked about the water system, how you're using 1 inch, and also your history in the fire industry and how that's kind of influenced how you wanted to make sure this house was well done.
So, small little things that doesn't seem like much that we try to incorporate into our homes. There's been several times where water issues, you can have water damage as simple as a hose that goes to your toilet breaks or starts to have some kind of failure. Same thing with your washer and dryer, it could be a sink, whatever. So there's a lot of times that people don't really realize there's a big problem until they start having these issues and they can't stop the water. And a lot of us don't think about, well, we have this, how do we turn the water off? And a lot of times there is no shut-offs in the home. They have to go out to the water meter. Do they have the right tools to open the meter box, and do they have the right tools to turn off the main meter? And in some cases, after those meters set up, they're almost impossible to open. So to simplify things, on all our homes, we actually have a shut-off box. We try to locate them in the garage or in a laundry room, somewhere it's easy for anyone to get to. There's a simple 1/4 inch turn-off that anybody can do. And it allows you, if you do have a water problem, you don't have to go outside. You can go simply to your garage. If we get that really weird weather, and for some reason we got long periods of time of freezing weather, we got to worry about freezing pipes and things of that nature. You just turn off that valve, it's easy to get to, and drain everything by simply turning on the tubs or a faucet or something like that. Since this house is quite large, we went with 3 tankless water heaters to make sure that we do have plenty of hot water. We located them on the side of the house where it's closest to the main demand. So obviously we have the carriage house here, we have the kitchen, and then master all centrally located here. So we have the water heaters really close. It's not far that the water has to come from. Now, we do have some other rooms that's on the far side of the house. So though we made sure we ran 1 inch lines that's gonna help carry that in a more efficient manner than say a smaller size 3/4 inch or something like that. So, I'm trying to think of some other things as far as, fire protection wise, you know, we do educate that we do have a structural steam beam in the house and where it's located, just where people know it's there, in case something really bad happened, like a house fire or something like that, which of course is in a lot of cases irrelevant because we're going to get out of the house no matter what and let the fire department take care of it. But just some of the simple things, making sure that when we're planning our electrical setup, that we're really making sure that we're not just putting a demand available for what's here. Most of us, when we get into a home, will realize, oh, we want to add a light, we want to add an extra fixture somewhere. We make sure that we're not designing homes that are not going to accommodate an electrician coming in here, putting in some additional wiring for you to just be told, hey, we checked the demand on this particular area. You just are not going to be able to do it without investing a lot of money. So we tend to make it a true custom where we're not limiting things for people to be able to, you know, make changes in the future or add. We try to keep a lot of these things in mind when we're designing the homes. Try to do a little bit more than a lot of times what's, you know, you can meet code or you can exceed code. You can do things that relatively do not cost a tremendous amount, but it's just an option to have, to do that, to make sure that this is going to be a house that you love and maybe you want to tell your friends about who built it. So it's things like that that can stand out, and you know, initially you're like, I love the house, and then if you don't think of things that people may want, and you know, those things might come back or make somebody not quite so happy. I'm trying to think, what else can we talk about?
Let's go see the outside in the back porch area.
Okay. I wish I would have brought the key. We would have walked down the stairs. So in construction, just real quick, we typically in Texas, we're able to put what we refer to as dummy doors. And so we're not really concerned about if they're damaged. It's a little bit more difficult because of all the inspections and what they need to inspect at certain points. So what we tend to do is we do have the vinyl doors in at this point, and so we keep them locked. That way they're not being opened and closed. Anything that may cause damage, because as you may or may not know, these doors are expensive, especially in this phase, because if they're damaged, it's not like something we can just repair. It's a lot of times if they get damaged, they're being replaced. So going back the way we came, and one thing I haven't mentioned yet, we are still kind of in our final planning as far as finish out. And this is a great time for someone to step in and make this their future home where they have some ability. But right now we are thinking about adding either a large custom white oak beam across the room, or we may do two across this way. It really ties the room in, especially with doing a lot of the white oak flooring, really helps set this room off. And of course, it's funny when now you get to feel like sheetrock, what the rooms feel like and look like, but as soon as we get all the interior doors and we get all this sanded and polished up, it's gonna look way different. Especially when we get to our electrical, we got all our switches in and all our colors. And then we'll also have the white oak stair treads going down, the rails. And then we can walk out the super garage, and I can show you again how it's so easy to turn off the water to the home. Hey guys. Hey Josh. Hey. So this is what I was talking about, the simple shut-off valve right here. It's very easy, just barely, you can close it, just as important when you open it back up, because we are dealing with PEX line. is you simply slowly open it back up because the water has to feed the entire house. You don't want to overpressurize it. But that's really inexpensive and a really nice feature. And it's as simple as if you're going out of town or if this is not your primary residence, you can simply shut the water off and not have to worry about any issues. And something I haven't pointed out with our construction is typically in a foundation, concrete foundation, you'll see people that will run a lot of the plumbing in the foundation. We like to do the opposite. I mean, we do have some plumbing in the foundation we don't have a choice of, but water lines, your water line is coming from the outside water meter. It comes here, and then this is the only thing that's really water-wise in the foundation. Everything else is plumbed up through the walls, up into the attic and into the secondary, and then it drops down into places on the first floor. And as you can see here, this is the staircase. This is your main entrance right here, going up to your carriage house. So you got your own private staircase. And like I mentioned earlier, it's easier to shut off that other door. We can frame it in, and this will be the only way in and out. And then this is just a secondary door going into the two-car garage. And one thing that we try to do with this project is because we're dealing with smaller lots than what we're used to, is we really wanted to position the house in a way that we could utilize the entire backyard. A lot of us have kids, grandkids, and everybody seems to want to have a pool. So we have a large area for a pool here. We have plans for a pool. We've done all the things that we need to do. It's already got gas ran out here for a pool. We got internet cables ran to run the software. We got electrical ready to go, which is all located on the other side of that wall. Plus we're planning on putting in an outdoor shower. This whole area here, we're ready to we're going to install all tongue and groove up here. Then we haven't quite decided on the wall facing where our built-ins are going to be for our grill. We're playing around with some decorative ideas. We also had to wait first before we can actually put our zip board and our moisture converter product on this wall because we had to have the inspectors come out. So we have to leave that open for them. That's the same reason why the ceiling hasn't been done yet, but that's all been done. So now we're just trying to finalize our decision here. And then we made this area as large as we could to have extra storage. We'll have a refrigerator out here. We'll have a nice stainless grill that will be built by manufacturers that's used to salt water. So you don't have to worry about the salt water just destroying everything, and everything inside of it's easily can be purchased when it wears out, like the griddle or any of the internal parts. And then it'll have the nice metal doors and everything. And it also have a sink out here. And then we do have plans. I forgot how many. See, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 ceiling fans that are going to be all the way down. And 3 down here, 1 down here. And then it may be hard to tell, but, and of course we'll finish out the fence all the way around. You'll have 2 custom gates. Here you got your pool equipment. It's already pre-plumbed, easy to access. You do not have very far to run, so we're not worried about water hydraulics and stuff that the pool's going to need and require. And then we'll have a nice platform and everything for the outdoor shower.